How's it going, YouTube? Satana Yugi Worship right here, coming at you guys with a deck profile today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys Invoked Dogmatika. I really do think this deck is fantastic for the 2020-2021 format, and I'm ready to showcase you guys this deck profile and my options and the reason I'm playing them. So first things first, we got 3 Alistair the Invoker. This is standard. This is like literally the best card of the deck. You just normal summon and search Invocation from your deck to your hand. Invocation is ridiculous. You know, this engine's been out for 4 years, and the fact that it's been completely untouched by the ban list is still a shocker to me, but definitely a mandatory 3 of. Then I run 3 Ecclesia. This card is ridiculous. Basically, when it's normal summon or special summon, you're able to search any Dogmatika card from your deck to your hand. And then when you control an extra deck monster, you can special summon it. Or when there's an extra deck monster on the field, you can special summon it from your hand. And then you're also able to get a search. But if you use that effect, you're unable to access your extra deck for the remainder of the turn. Then I run 2 Floridelis. I think this card is fantastic at 2. Basically, what this card does is when you control a spellcaster monster or Dogmatika monster and a extra deck monster, you can special summon it. And then you're able to negate one monster effect on the field and negate its effects. It's really, really good. And then lastly, for the Dogmatika cards, I run 1 Ashen and 1 Maximus. I think these cards are fantastic. At 1-ofs. Ashen, I think, is superiorly underrated. I think it's really, really good. When an extra deck monster basically goes to the graveyard or is removed from the field, you can special summon it. Just like extra board coverage and stuff like that. Helps with link plays and such. And then for the extras, I run 3 Ash Blossom. This is standard. I think 3 Ash in this deck is fantastic. And you just should definitely be a mandatory 3 of. 2 Ogre. I like Ogre. I run it over Nibiru in the main, and I'll get to that when I get to my side deck. I do think Ghost Ogre is fantastic. It helps so much with interruptions, especially with Virtual Roll. I hate that deck. So then I run 2 Alphas. This card is also fantastic. Basically, it's like a 1-for-1 compulse. When your opponent controls more attack points on the field than you do, you're able to special summon it from the hand onto the field and then return 1 card on the field to the hand. The best thing about this card is it doesn't target. So it can help out, like, you know, let's say your opponent's playing Virtual Roll and they, you know, drop a card. You're just like, okay, summon Alpha, bam, return it back. It really does help a lot. Then for my super secret spices tech, I got 2 Gores. I think Gores is fantastic. I've run Gores in almost every meta deck that can run it. I think Gores is fantastic. Especially when you drop it, people always get that nostalgia feel like Gores. And then, like, let's say they beat over you with like 3,000. You drop Gores and then you get a 3,000 token. At the end of the day, a 3,000 token is still very bothersome. Then lastly, for the monster, we have 1 Triceratops. I think this card is fantastic. It just helps with board coverage and stuff like that. All right, that's it for the monsters. Then for the spells, Cut Clear, we run 3 Nadir Servants. This card is fantastic. It's definitely a mandatory 3 of. Basically, you dump a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and then you're able to search a Dogmatika monster from your deck to your hand, and it's so nuts. 3 Invocation. I don't really need to explain what this card does. It's so good. It just does so much wonders for the deck. 3 Meltdown, searches Alistair. 2 Pot of Desires. I hate using this card, but sometimes you get those hands that you just got to use it. Then in the main, 1 Terraform and 1 Call by the Grave. These are fantastic. If they were at 3, I'd definitely play them at 3. But, you know, these cards kind of just help with the consistency of the deck. For the traps, I run 3 Infinite Impermanence. I think this card is a mandatory 3 of in every meta deck. It's such a good card. The fact that, like, it just helps with so much interruptions. It just wins games. And you guys should definitely pick these up too. They're pretty cheap right now. I got my set for like $65. So you guys should definitely consider getting some. If you can afford it, obviously. And then 2 Dogmatika Punishment. Don't know why they printed this card as a common. This card is absolutely bonkers. And then, you know, 1 Schism. All right. And then for the extra deck, I run just Shadal monsters. Construct, Winda. I don't know how to pronounce the other 2. This just basically helps make Schism live, essentially. So, Tuna Test. This is like during your opponent's turn, board interruption. It's a fantastic card. I really like it. It's definitely won me a lot of games. 1 Puctario and 2 Makaba. Makaba just wins games, literally. A lot of people ask why I run this. I run it because of Almirage. my opponent, locks me out of the extra deck or something like that. Makaba is just, if you summon Makaba, this card is just, especially if you get 2 of them out, it's just so annoying. Like, honestly, being on the other side of that is ridiculous. 2 Titanclads. I like it at 2 in the extra deck. It's such a good card. Basically, at the end phase, if it's sent to the graveyard, you're able to search a Dogmatika card or special summon one from your deck. It's fantastic. Then I run 1 Secure Gardener, 1 Almirage, that's for the Alistair play. And then 1 Omega. This card's really good when you dump it with like a Nadir Servant, and then you can just shuffle it back in order to like steal a card from your opponent's graveyard and then shuffle it back into their deck. And then for the side deck, I run 3 Nibiru. I will never run Nibiru in the main deck. I hate Nibiru in the main deck. To me, it's like, okay, it's like a love-hate relationship. I love this card so much because it wins games, but like when I can't use it, I hate it. Like, just sits in my hand all game. Just like, okay, I'm playing versus an Infernoid player. Cool, he special summons twice. All right. Me in my head, I'm like, okay, this card is basically dead. So, but I do still recommend for the side, like versus Dragon Link, this card is tier 1. Then 3 Twin Twisters. If my opponent's running super back row heavy decks, I just throw these in. It helps a lot, especially because traps are becoming a lot more relevant again. And then I run 3 Droll and Lockbirds. It's just Ash, but worse in my opinion, but it still does the job. 3 Evenly Matched. I thought about maining this for a while. The only reason I don't main Evenly Matched is just because I feel like it is a better side deck card. Reason being is because like sometimes I will have more monsters than my opponent. Dogmatika is kind of a control deck. So sometimes I end up with like 3-4 monsters and this card's just sitting in my hand and there's basically like nothing I can do with it. Then lastly, I run 2 Crackdown. I run 2 Crackdown just because no one ever sees this card coming. This card's ridiculous. It's actually won me a couple games. It's just, side deck's all personal preference at the end of the day. It's just all matters what you like. You can sub these out for an extra Ghost Ogre. You can run like Cosmic Cyclones if you want. At the end of the day, it's also about your personal preference, what you like. This side deck has worked out for me the best. It really is versatile, and I do make changes here and there. The Crackdowns are new, and I'll be testing them on my locals when they come back. But in theory and then online as well, they have been working out really well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part of this video? Thank you so much, guys, and have a blessed day.